They say the far right thrives on fear. But what happens when someone finally calls that fear out, live and on their own show? If you've watched Farage twist last year's riots into political ammo, riots that were later dubbed Farage riots for a reason, then you already know the game he plays. You're not paranoid, you're not overreacting, you're watching a man weaponize chaos. And this time, someone finally told him to his face. Nigel Farage has never been subtle. When last year's violence erupted in the streets, he didn't ask what caused it or how he could help to stop it. He saw an opportunity and asked how he could use it. The result? Days of inflammatory rhetoric that poured fuel on the fire until the whole mess was branded the Farage riots, and he loved every second of it, although, according to him, he was just asking questions. This man doesn't solve problems, he profits from panic. But every once in a while, someone slips through the cracks, someone who doesn't play along, and what you're about to see is one of those rare, beautiful moments. This is Fiona. She came to his show and said what so many of us have been screaming at our screens for years, that Farage has built an entire political career on fear, scapegoating and lies, and that the real threat isn't those he's pointing at, it's him. Watch as he interrupts, he spins and tries to turn the spotlight back on his script, but Fiona doesn't let him, because when someone finally calls him out while the cameras are still rolling, he really doesn't like it. Have a watch.
Do you understand, Fiona, why the protest began outside the Bell Hotel just a few days ago?
Yeah, I do understand. These protests are the result of capitalist media and capitalist politicians like yourself
Capitalists?
spending all of their political career. I mean, your political career is really built on weaponizing the fears and the insecurities that people have in their lives.
What, being raped?
And horrific things, the most horrific things that can happen to people. You weaponize these events for your political career, which is built on lies, and you say that the problems, the source of all of this comes from other poor people in society, rather than the real criminals, the biggest criminals, the people who are responsible, not just for horrific individual acts of violence, but the systemic violence that people face every single day as a result of austerity,
so if you
as
were
a result
mum,
of the cost of living crisis.
If you were a mum...
And that's the result of capitalism and Starmer.
No, this has got nothing...
That's what you're distracting.
Let me
distracting from that.
Look, it's Fiona, it's all good textbook stuff, but I'm going to put a human point to you, right? A non-political point to you. If you were a mum living in that part of Essex, and you knew that a young male, undocumented male, God knows where he came from, had been charged with sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl, would you as a mum in that part of Essex be happy to let your teenage kids out?
Of course, it's a horrific thing that has happened.
Would you
Anyone
be happy?
Can say that.
Answer my question.
It's not very profound to say that rape or assault is a bad thing. Everyone can agree on that.
So would you as a mum...
If you were genuinely concerned...
No. Would you as a mum... Would you as a mum living in Epping be concerned about what was going on?
I'm sure many mums are concerned. There are many people on these protests are concerned. Some of them, we can say, are not just concerned. Some of these people are verified neo-Nazis, right? Fascists.
I like Antifa with masks chucking bottles at the police.
And you're weaponising that concern.
No, I'm not.
You're weaponising that concern.
I'm sorry,
And by doing these lies, you're defending the biggest criminals in Britain. That's what your career is about.
I'm not far right. I'm worried about my kids. Make Epping safe again.
So will Nigel Farage reflect on any of that? No, of course not. Don't be silly. Because 5 minutes later, he's back to doing what he always does, dodging questions, deflecting blame, and pretending none of it was his fault. Well, if you think this moment was awkward, wait until you see his interview with Laura Kuenssberg, and when the questions aren't related to immigration, he completely unravels, even with the most basic of questions. No spin, no script, just pure panic, which you can see in the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.